Sister, Sister Bernadette wasn't here this morning, di ba? Sorry, tinanggal ko yung sapatos ko. Sakit na lang ako. My feet hurt, sorry. Ha? Oo, exempted yung men's because of the men's fellowship. Ideally, kung ako, no, sana. Pero, Tito Bong is asking kasi na ano. So, I said, okay, never mind. So, the 3 men, and I think 3 lang sila, di ba? Kaya, that's it. They're exempted. So, this morning, we learned about covenant. So far, we've covered page 1, and we're going sa ano na. Sister Emily, if you don't mind reading na lang, para we will progress. We read Joshua 9, di ba? Binasa natin yung Joshua 9 kanina, di ba? And it's about Joshua and yung covenant niya sa mga Gibeonites and how it was broken. And we want to read 2 Samuel 21. Binasa ninyo yan during your lunch break? Hindi pa tapos? Mahaba siya talaga? Okay. Akala ko talagang mahaba talaga ang Joshua 21. Hindi pa natapos. Okay. Let's open to that, Joshua 21. Oo nga, mahaba, no? It's really long. Okay, I see. Okay. Okay, if you look into your, yung handout ninyo, we will go by the shorter, Sabi niya sa page 2 ng ng handout ninyo, in 2 Samuel 21, many years have passed. A famine had come upon the land of Israel because Saul mistreated the Gibeonites. A covenant not of God's choosing stood through the generation. So ang nangyari doon is, ang covenant ni Joshua, under the leadership of Joshua sa Israel, and then the Gibeonites. The Gibeonites deceived Joshua, di ba? And eventually, the leaders and the nation of Israel decided to cover the Gibeonites when it comes to war and things na ganyan. So ang nangyari, during the reign of Saul, during sa reign ni Saul, he failed to stand through this covenant. And what happened to the land of Israel? Because of that, the Lord has caused famine sa entire nation of Israel. And if we read in the next paragraph, sabi niya dito sa page 2 ninyo, in fact, in retaliation for their mistreatment, the Gibeonites were given the privilege of choosing 7 of Saul's relatives to be executed. When this was done, the famine was ended. Let's go sa ano niya. Let me look, because it's nice to look into the scripture na hindi lang natin 21, sorry. Mahaba pala siya. Well, when you go home, can you read this one? I read this one once or twice, but I can't get which verse is it. Dahil mahaba siya, would be So yan yung consequence niya doon. I think, is it okay if I just go through? You read that one at home? Yeah, para hindi natin ma-consume yung time natin. So ang nangyari, dahil hindi tinupad ni Saul yung covenant na yun between the Gibeonites and the Israelites, my famine, at the same time, the prophet Samuel came in between, and ang sabi niya is, they asked the Gibeonites, what will actually I'm not even sure if it's David or the prophet Samuel. But anyway, the decision was the Gibeonites is going to choose mag-ano sila kung anong gusto nilang mangyari para ang curse mag-end. So, ang ginawa nila ngayon is they asked for yung descendants ni Saul, yung family ni Saul na ma-execute, and I think it's 10 of his descendants made. 7? Oh, see? Seven of his descendants were killed. And after they were killed, after they were executed, natapos yung famine. Can anybody give me which verse is that? Saan verse na?
Verse 6.
Verse 6 ba yan?
And 7 of his male descendants.
There we go.
Given to us to be killed.
Okay, yeah.
Exposed before the Lord.
Ay, naku, sorry, wrong book ako. I'm in Joshua. Or in 2 Samuel. Parang sabi ko, parang kakaiba tong story na binabasa ko. Verse 6 ng 2 Samuel. So 7 of it. And that's how God, works with covenant. Na He honors it. So, sorry. Ang teacher hindi nagbasa. Verse 6. Okay. That's the man of the descendants. So, sino ang king na nag-ano dito? So, it's David, no? So, it's King David dito. This is the reign of King David. But the one, it is because of Saul that his bloodthirsty house, because he killed the Gibeonites. So the king called the Gibeonites and spoke to them. So during the reign of Saul, pero sa reign ni David, nag-come up yung problem na yun, just to make things na, no? So there you go. But the consequences were really something else. It is quite heavy, di ba? Because it is blood that was taken because of the breaking of the covenant.
What was it?
Another example is in Genesis 17. If you go through page 7, page 3, sabi niya dito, Genesis 17:10-13, this is my covenant which you shall keep between me, you and thy seed after thee. Every man or child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be token of the covenant between me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generation. He that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not thy seed. He that is born in thy house, he that is bought with money, must be circumcised as a sign of everlasting covenant ng Panginoon ito. So it's talking about the circumcision. So this is Moses. The story here is Moses. And ang sign of circumcision was given kay Abraham, di ba? Na ang sabi ng Panginoon kay Abraham noon na every 8 days old child should be circumcised. And then what happens in Genesis 17 is we read in Exodus, if you go to Exodus 4:24-26, we read that God met Moses on the way to the encampment and sought to kill him. And the reason kung bakit God wanting to kill Moses was because Moses failed to circumcise yung isang anak niya, and because of the intervention of Zipporah was the wife of Moses, which again, he was the one, Zipporah was opposed to circumcision, in whom Moses consented, and it almost cost his life. But when they were struggling, because Zipporah, realized that was the reason why God was struggling with Moses, he took a flint and then circumcised one of the child of Moses, and then God let Moses go. Sorry, it's just a long story, to cut the story short. And it's only because of circumcision yun, which is not even relevant to us, but during those olden times, because it's a covenant of Abraham to his, to the nation of Israel. So, it's very, very applicable sa kanila na mga Jewish. So this is yung sinabi ko kaninang umaga na not everything, the Bible is written for us, but not everything is written about us sa Bible, di ba? It is for us to learn, but not everything here is applicable sa buhay natin. And one is yung sa circumcision, na? But again, we practice that with our children because of hygiene, because of cleanliness. And somehow, parang maganda rin na practice, especially sa mga boys. We will go through, if you go into your page 4, we will go through the different covenants of the Bible. We have the Solaric. Can I ask somebody to read the Solaric covenant? Sister, in your handout, page 4. The first covenant that is mentioned in there is Solaric covenant.
Solaric covenant, Genesis 17:15 to 19. The covenant with Sarah promised certain blessing to her and her offspring, Isaac, for many generations.
Solaric, number 1, Solaric covenant.
Yes.
Solaric.
Solaric. Solaric is Genesis, first Genesis 14 to 18 and Genesis 8:22. The promise was to have the eternal season for fruitfulness and that it would continue forever as long as the solar system endures.
Solaric, it comes from the word, thank you Sister Elsie, it comes from the word solar, so sun, diba, no? The solar system endures. It's particularly, it's quoted in, it's not a very famous na covenant sa, when it comes to study of the covenant, but it's mentioned in there, so we will read it. In Genesis 1, if you have Bible, 14 verse 18, I will read it. Then God said, "Let there be light in the firmaments of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons and for days in years. And let them be for lights and firmaments to give light to the earth." And it was so. Then God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmaments of the heaven to give light to the earth. If you ask me if it's very clear, parang hindi, diba? It doesn't say much na this, is a covenant because this is the creation. So that's why I would just read through, but I won't focus on this, no? Because there's a lot of things in the Bible as well that we will say probably this is the other type of covenant. But I will focus, we will read that one. So it's a promise of God, but again, He's promised a lot of things as well in the Bible, which is not in here. We will go sa Edenic. So if you take that one lightly, I would just like to mention when with regards to Genesis 1, the Solaric covenant in Jeremiah 33 verse 19, I will quote here, sabi ng Panginoon na, "The Lord will guarantee the sureness of God's promise to the ancestor David." And that is in reference sa Solaric covenant. I'll guarantee that there will be night and day, which as well is overlapping. This Solaric covenant overlaps with the Noahic covenant. After the flood, sinabi na naman ng Panginoon nun na I will make the seasons, as long as there is seasons, or as long as there is light, the seasons will go on. So parang nag-overlap siya sa Noahic covenant. So I will just leave it to that, and we'll discuss further. Can I ask somebody to read the Edenic covenant? Sister Emery? Are you ready? Edenic. This is derived from the word Eden.
Edenic or covenant or obedience. Genesis 1:26. Genesis 1 verse 26 to 3 verse 24. A covenant made with Adam and Eve before fall and was conditional upon obedience.
That's right. So this is what we call the covenant of obedience. It happened in the Garden of Eden, Genesis 1, if you have the Bible, verse 26. Can somebody read Genesis 1, verse 26?
Then God said, let us make humankind in our image, after our likeness, so they may rule over the fish of the sea, and the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over all the creatures that move on the earth.
Amen. So, again, how about Genesis 3:24? Can somebody read that one? Shout it out.
After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life.
That's right. This is a covenant made with both Adam and Eve. This is before the fall. Just to make things clear. Hindi siya after the fall. So it's before the fall and it's conditional upon sa obedience ng dalawa. And again, the verses are not very, very particularly clear. For me, I'm not clear with it. But it is a covenant made depending on the obedience of Adam and Eve. But again, it is before the fall and it's overlapping with the Adamic covenant. Nag-overlap siya sa Adamic covenant. So we will have a look at the Adamic covenant. Sister Gina, can you read that book?
Adamic covenant is the agreement was made for Adam and Eve after the fall and before the expulsion from the garden. It ushered in the suspension of conscience, so-called suspension of conscience, because man was tested to see if he would obey his own conscience regarding right and wrong. There were no written laws yet.
Okay. If you go to page 5, segment letter A.
No, but